Yogi Amy here to talk to you a little bit today about anxiety. I feel like we all have a little bit of anxiety. Sometimes it manifests in different ways. Whether it just may make you feel tight, or it may actually have a physical impact on you, such as a panic attack, or you can't catch your breath. All signs of anxiety, all completely normal. I also battle with anxiety attacks. The new thing, though, I've learned, it hasn't taken away the panic attacks, but now I have them under control, which means I feel them coming on, and I have a few tools now to really help keep it at bay. It's a really, really challenging thing to do, because in the midst of that anxiety and that panic, you just feel like you want to die, and there's no way you can take a deep breath. But it's literally as simplistic as that, just making sure to take a deep breath. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some ways to help curb your anxiety, or just to breathe and balance out your nervous system, because our mind mimics our breath. So if our breath is nice and smooth and balanced, so is our mind. Our mind controls everything, that nervous system. So I'm a big fan of CBD. I usually get mine from American Shaman. I got this one from Revive. It's mint, and I'm just gonna put a few drops underneath my tongue, because CBD really works for chronic pain for me and for anxiety. And it's really good to do it, I think the word is sublingually, underneath the tongue. So I'm just going to do that. It tastes good, it's minty. And then I'll swallow. So this is my first way to really help with anxiety, is CBD. The other way are essential oils. This is Peace and Calming by Young Living. It's one of my favorites. And it's really easy. I call it my lazy therapy, because you don't need to be at a gym. You don't need to eat right. You don't need to exercise. All you got to do is be sitting here and have an oil. So I'm going to put a drop in my hand, rubbing my hands together, and then placing my hands over my mouth and my nose and starting to breathe. So the first lesson I want you to know is to breathe through your nose. That's what we're supposed to be doing. The nose is designed purely to breathe. So it's got all these systems in there to really help purify the breath, to help the breath speak to the body. Sometimes we can't breathe through our nose, so we have the mouth. And luckily we have that secondary option, but the mouth is made for anxiety breath. Like when we have to run fast from lions and tigers and bears, that's when the mouth breath should come in. So we really don't want to use the mouth breath, because that kind of helps feed the anxiety. The nasal area has these little bulbs in them called olfactory bulbs. And what they do is they register the breath. The mouth doesn't have anything like that. So when you take essential oils and breathe them in through your nose, those olfactory bulbs are picking up those scents. This one's called Peace and Calming. So it's going to start to speak to different parts of my brain to bring that peace, to bring that calm, to bring that balance. Just like, you take a pill and the pill takes effect in your body. That's what the essential oils do too. So I love to just breathe in the oils through my nose. It really is effective. So that's one way. And the second way is usually what I use, because I'm usually out in public, or someplace, like if I see a car accident, I may start to feel anxiety and panic, and I might not necessarily have the ability to reach for my oils. So what I do is I focus on taking a big nasal breath and filling my belly up. So you would inhale and your belly goes out, exhale and your belly goes in. And you want to make the inhales and exhales smooth. And then once you can get those smooth, overemphasize the exhale. So maybe like a 6 count inhale and an 8 count exhale. because the exhale is where the release is. Inhales bring things in, and we tend to over inhale as a society. So we're not breathing all the way into those lungs. On the inhale we may be, but not on that exhale. And your lungs can store things like grief and a lot of yucky stuff, including like fluids and bacteria and stuff like that in the bottom of your lungs. So you really want to make sure and take a huge deep breath on an inhale and then really amplify the exhale. Inhales, think something like, I'm safe, let go. I'm safe, let go. And sometimes it's really hard to do stuff like that, especially if you're in a high anxiety area or situation. You may just want to enter into that panic because that's the easiest thing to do. But breath is the key. I'm off of my anti-anxiety meds, although sometimes I would really like them back because it's sometimes easier for me just to go that route instead of practicing real, true self-care and searching for that external stuff to heal me instead of that internal stuff. So even though my oils are external, they also do some really good healing on the inside. So really what I want to overemphasize is big, full breaths to the sides, to the front and back, through your nose, as rhythmic as you can, and then overemphasize those exhales. It is scientifically proven the more you practice, the more this will be effective for you, and the easier it gets, yogis. I remember the first panic attack, I warded off. It was so hard. I entered in and then I was breathing and then I'd be fine and then I'd enter back in and then I would breathe. So it's really challenging. If you've never had a panic attack, that's awesome. It's not okay though to hide anxiety and repress stress because, that just leads to resentment and retaliation and just yucky stuff being held in your body. So big deep breaths the whole time, and now I understand that anxiety. I'm an anxious person. I struggle with anxiety, so I'm okay with that. And I think that's a huge tool too, is if you struggle with anxiety, that's who you are. And if you're not ashamed of it, if you're not afraid of it, it doesn't control you anymore. So yes, I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety, but I'm not afraid of it. It's who I am. And being present with that helps me heal, helps me be strong. Talking about it makes it less strong in my body. And getting it out there helps starting to move things. And it's really scary to go there, yogis, but breath, breathe, be happy, be kind, eat well, drink lots of water, be in relationships that both of you gain positivity from, and breathe. So, essential oils, CBD, nasal breath into the belly, extra long exhales. That's what's worked for me. I can't replace a doctor's diagnosis or a therapist's diagnosis. If you really struggle with this stuff, please go out and seek some help. I have been to many doctors, many psychiatrists, psychologists, psycho, and I don't know, all that stuff. And here I am today, So be brave. Anxiety, everybody has it. Do not be afraid of it. Learn to control it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace in, peace out.